Magandang araw po sa inyong lahat mga kabansa. Kayo po ay nasa Iparas kay Paras at narito po ang inyong paglinawan kasama ang ating sekretary.
Magandang hapon mga kababayan. Paring Ado, magandang hapon. At of course, ulitin ko, magandang hapon po sa ating mga mahal na mga Pilipino na hanggang ngayon ay naghihirap pa din. Klarong-klaro doon sa pambubudol na naman ni Marcos on his third attempt in the State of the Nation address to sway the Filipinos towards his lies about the improvement of our country under his term. Pare, anong masasabi mo as an introduction? Napakinggan mo yung mga kabulastugan ng mga sinasabi ni Marcos.
Ang isa sa pinaka-importante sinabi niya doon na pinaniniwalaan ko ay yung achievement ng Marcos administration sa Department of Education. Pero yun ay under Secretary of Education, Sara Duterte.
So, maliban dyan,
wala na.
Anong masasabi mo sa iba? Is it another Pinocchio in the making?
Well, masasabi ko
telling lies to the people and gumagawa, klarong-klaro mga kababayan, na yung mga speeches niya are not taken from real figures, are not taken from figures from real statistics.
Improvisations.
Improvise to suit yung kanyang objective. Yung false narrative. Para lang to satisfy sa mga ating mga kababayan na maganda pala. Pero these are all kayo mismo. Maski anong sasabihin niyang maganda sa ating bansa, that will not change the real situation of our people. Tulad dito, nagyabang siya sa kadami-dami niyang mga travel abroad. Ginulustay niya ang todo-todo ang pera natin. Nagyabang siya na ang dami daw pledges that turned into real investment, courtesy of his Secretary of Trade and Industry. Pakinggan natin ito. Itong mga ginawa na mga mga ginawang narrative para gamitin niya sa kanyang State of the Nation. Ito.
Economic overhaul pays off 2.7 trillion in investment projects registered under Marcos administration. Investment promotion agencies under the Department of Trade and Industry have recorded over 2.73 trillion in project pledges.
Pledges ka pala.
Pledges pala.
Pero sinasabi niya na totoo na. Sige, pledges.
Since Ferdinand Marcos Bongbong took office, according to Trade Secretary Alfredo Pascual, from July 2022 to May 2024, 1,090 projects registered with the Board of Investments and the Philippine Economic Zone Authority contributed to this total. Specifically, BOI registered 658 projects valued at 2.4 trillion, while PESA approved 432 projects worth 331 billion. Pascual expects these investments will generate approximately 182,000 jobs with 102 positions from BOI-registered projects and 80,000 from the PESA-registered projects. The Trade Secretary attributed the increase in investment approvals to a policy reform implemented with President Marcos' first 6 months in office, allowing, ang galing, 100% foreign ownership in renewable energy projects. In 2023, BOI alone recorded 986.14 billion pesos in investments in renewable energy projects, predominantly from offshore wind projects.
Can you imagine yung kanyang trade secretary has mentioned about pledges, pero binaliktad nila, pinaganda nila to make it appear, mga kababayan, na ito ay mga investments na.
Done deal.
At ito ay, ang pera ay nagugol na sa pagtustos ng mga trabaho, mga investment sa ating bansa, paring Ado. Pinapalabas ni Marcos,
BOI and PESA.
ang sabi ng kanyang Secretary of Trade, pledges pa lang. Napaganda daw ang kanilang programa para makatustos ng mga pledges. Hindi para maka-Google at umpisa ng construction.
Ibig sabihin, wala pa rin perang ganyang kalaki na pumapasok.
Wala pa. Wala pa rin
Hot air.
Oo, puro hot air. Hot balloon. At ibig sabihin yan, mga kababayan, puro daldal at puro kasinungalingan at puro pangyayabang lang itong speech ni Marcos. At talagang totoo na walang isa pa na napatrabaho doon sa tinasabi nilang 182,000 jobs na darating daw dahil dito sa mga registered. Registration does not mean already money that pour in. Registration, nagpapalista lang yan. Nagpapalista lang ng kanilang pangalan, nag-a-apply pa lang para maaprubahan at magkaroon ng incentive. Yun po ang function ng BOI. Sa PESA naman, nag-a-apply na para maging PESA member at magkakaroon din sila ng incentive. Pero as to the reality na ang pera nitong mga investors ay dinala na at gumugugol na sila at nag-construct na at may mga hinayal na, these are all false. And it's only in the imagination of Marcos. And natural, binudol na tayo ng todo, bubudulin na naman uli. Can you imagine? Hindi pa rin natututo itong taong ito. Hindi na lang maging humble at sasabihin lang yung totoo dahil alam naman ng Pilipino na walang kakayahan, bubulahin pa ang mga Pilipino, gutom na nga ang ating mga kababayan. Tingnan mo itong sinasabi ni Mr. Bubi Tiglao. Ito po ang tunay na state ng investment ng ating bansa. At may mga sinasabi din mismo ang Central Bank of the Philippines. Ito, pakinggan natin itong sinabi ni Tiglao, who is a very, credible columnist
Manila
at
Times.
talagang nagre-research tungkol dito sa pinag-usapan natin. Ito, pakinggan natin.
Foreign investments fall, blowback from anti-China policy. Pascual has the gall to lie using the reports on foreign investment proposals registered and approved with the Board of Investments. But these are mere proposals offered by companies to see how much tax inventiveness
Tax inventiveness.
they can be given.
Oo.
Pascual, though,
Magkanong incentives ang mabibigay sa kanila?
kung maglabas sila ng ganong klaseng pera. Pascual, though, is intellectually dishonest in that he doesn't mention the fact, which is well known in his department and in the academe, that the BOI's reported approved investments usually account for an average of 16% of actual foreign inflow. Marcos has been using as an excuse for his gallivanting around the world the claim that in each and every trip he has been getting billions and billions of pledges. I've been on such trips before when I was in government, and those pledges were empty for show announcements, as most are undocumented. For the billions and billions of dollars that Marcos officials have claimed he got companies to invest here in every trip, his officials have never identified such companies.
Yung pa lang, in contrast with his Pinocchio stance in the House of Representatives as the speaker for the Sona or Sona, walang katuturan ang sinasabi nito. So, mga kababayan, itong ni-research ni Bobby Tiglao or Bubi Tiglao tungkol sa ilan lamang ang talagang pumasok na tunay na pera galing sa paggalibanting or sa pagpasyal-pasyal ni Marcos ay kapalanggot lamang. Pero ginagamit ni Marcos bilang pangyayabang, pangbubudol sa ating mga kababayan dito sa kanyang State of the Nation na ang dami daw pera sa kanyang travel na nagiging investment na at makakabigay daw ng kabutihan sa bansa at makakabigay ng trabaho more or less between 100,000 to 182,000 pesos. Ang ating investment.
Hot air lang pala.
Puro kuan lang pala, hot balloon. Puro payabang. At kung totoo pa yan, Marcos, ang ligaya na ng taong bayan at hindi na magkaroon ng statistic na walang employment. Walang unemployment. Dapat may employment na. Can you imagine? 182,000.
At saka may pera para sa livelihood.
May pera para sa mga livelihood, para sa kanilang pagkain. Maski hanggang ngayon, napakamahal. Nagsinungaling pa itong Marcos. Ang presyo daw 45 to 40 to 45 pesos lang daw ang bigas. Hindi kaya tayo nag-survey na ang bigas ngayon sa palengke ay 50 to 60 pesos per kilo. Mr. Marcos, pwede ba? You are the only president we've got. Ang hinahangad lang ng taong bayan ay huwag kang maging sinungaling. Magsabi ka ng totoo at baka makumbins mo ang tao na sige na nga, papalo na lang kami sa sinasabi mo. Kasi alam naman natin na bopols ka, wala ka namang alam sa pagpapatakbo ng bansa. Pero kung magsabi ka lang ng totoo, ay ipo-forgive ka lang namin. Pero kung niloloko mo ng tao, magyayabang ka pa sa Sona mo, you're adding insult to injury. Paring Ado, ano masasabi mo dyan?
Well, yan nga. Kaya nga tinatawag ko na yung Sona ay hindi na State of the Nation address, kundi State of No Achievement.
No.
Ayan.
State of no achievement. Why? Because even if there are no achievements, there are no improvements, there are no good governance, papaabot pa rin sa taong bayan yung narrative nila na pinipick up lang yung mga figures from anywhere. At ipapalabas na these are truth about our country. Ito po ay mga nangyayari. Kung sa movie pa yan, kung napakinggan mo si Clint Eastwood, he is just a legend in his own mind. Yun actually ang nangyayari dito sa kanyang Sona. A legend in his own mind.
Oh my goodness.
So,
May pera. Pero may pera na kinuha. Saan napunta?
Maraming pera. Maraming pera nilabas, hindi nakabalik. Nagyayabang ng pero yung ibang pera, nandyan na. Pero hanggang ngayon, tinatanong pa, nasaan yung mga pera na yan? Kasi, kinuhanan mo ng pera para sa mga farmers sa land bank. Kinuhanan mo ang pera para sa mga small and medium term industry sa DBP. Tapos yung dividendo ng land bank that should have gone to the treasury, kinuha mo rin. Saan mo nilagay? Dito sa Maharlika Fund. Ang tanong ngayon, nasaan na ang pera ng Maharlika Fund? Ito, tanong.
What happened to Maharlika Fund? Nearly a year since the country's very first sovereign wealth fund was created. The state-owned firm running the Maharlika Investment Fund has not made a single investment activity, as it is still yet to establish its organizational structure and gather manpower. Maharlika Investment Corporation President and Chief Executive Officer Rafael Consing has been saying that the Sovereign Wealth Fund should make its own first investment by the fourth quarter or before the end of the year. For the first half of the year, Consing said the MIC will focus on organization, with the budget currently being fine-tuned by the Department of Budget and Management. It is also coordinating with the Governance Commission for Government-Owned and Controlled Corporations and the Civil Service Commission. Nevertheless, Consing has been vocal about the MIC's initial direction, which is to invest in developing transmission and distribution infrastructure in the country's off-grid island, with the aim of reducing the cost of electricity in far-flung rural areas.
Okay. So, why is he investing in those areas? Maraming investor na foreigner dyan. Bakit po gamitin yung pera para sa farmers, pera para sa mga medium and small scale industries, para lang mag-invest dyan sa kapranggot na area na yan? Hindi ba kaya ka naglagay ng Maharlika Fund para palaguin mo yung pera? Di ba? Tapos doon ka lang, wala ka bang sariling initiative, Mr. Consing? Tingnan mo itong Consing, Bakit siya, Maharlika, boss, Consing, reportedly seeking 2.5 million monthly. Kapal ng mukha nito. Sige, basahin mo pare.
The Star reported that sources within the economic team said Rafael Consing, the president and CEO of Maharlika Investment Corporation, is seeking a basic monthly salary of 2.5 million. That rate would exceed the salaries given to the country's highest paid economic managers, including that of Eli
Remoluna
Jr., the governor of the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. The sources quoted imply that the controversy about Mr. Consing's requested salary is at least partially to blame for the MIC's slow start, as the back and forth on the pay issue has held up MIC's investment and development activity.
Kaya daw hindi umusad dahil ito greedy. Ha? Hindi ka ba mahiya? Napakakapal ng mukha mo, Mr. Consing. Hingi ka ng napakalaking sweldo Hindi ba ito yung may kaso? Ha? Na sinala niya yung ng nanay niya or something to that effect. Ha? Or that effect kaya
It's a
nagkakaso.
family scandal.
Oo, ha? Tapos kaya nga sinabihan na natin dito sa natin na delikado yung tao na yan kasi kung gumanon siya nga ng iskandalo dati doon sa bangko,
Oh.
siyempre kukuha ng malaking pera yan dito sa Marley-Kapan. And is he really qualified? Is he really a banker or an investor? Ang alam natin, engineer ba ito or contractor? Ha?
Sa sweldo pa lang niya, lugi na Maharlika.
Lugi na ha? Mahiya ka, pare. Ha? Dapat alis ka na dyan. Ha? Kasi kawawa ang ating bansa. Mabuti sana kung pinulot lang yung pera na nilagay dyan sa Marley-Kapan. Pinaghirapan po yan, binawi sa mga farmers, binawi sa mga medium and small scale industry investors ng DBP at saka pera ng dividendo ng Central Bank para sa taong bayan, lulustayin mo lang at wala ka namang qualification talaga.
Sweldo pa lang
Nilagay ka lang yata dyan ng Ayala o anong crony dyan para malagay ka dyan. In terms of, with due respect, in terms of know-how, knowledge, competence, di umano'y, wala ka naman talaga nakakayahan. Kaya, nakabinbin yung pera, dapat ibalik niya na lang yan doon sa taong bayan para yung mga magsasaka natin ay makapag-produce pa ng marami, pautangin ng gobyerno. Kaysa binibinbin mo dyan. Ha? So, tingnan mo, ito na naman, ibang kabulastugan na naman ito. Akala ko, maayos itong aking kaibigan. Akala ko, mabait na dating senador. Pero, hindi nag-aaral Ha? Yung pera na pinaghirapan ng taong bayan, mga OFWs, I knew for a fact na nagkakaroon pa ng girian dati kasi yung mga OFWs natin sa Middle East at saka sa ibang ayaw mag-contribute sa PhilHealth. Ha? Pero napilitan sila na mag-contribute ng pera galing sa hard-earned money nila.
Kaya lumaki yung
yung PhilHealth funds. Dahil sa kabubuhan, dahil sa mga tao na nilagay ni Marcos sa PhilHealth for the last 2 years, nagkaroon ng walang pag-usad ang PhilHealth. Kaya nagkaroon ng accumulation of money. But this money belongs to the contributors. Hindi ito does not belong to the government. Pero ito, pakinggan mo itong Secretary of Finance, si Mr. Recto. Nothing personal sa iyo, Ralph, pero hindi maganda itong ginagawa mo. Tingnan mo, bakit mo pinakialaman daw ang pera ng PhilHealth consisting of 89 billion, which should have gone a long way to the needs of PhilHealth. And most of all, dapat kausapin mo yung isang senador na si Mr. Estrada. Pero ang pangalan niya ay Ejercito. Ang tatay niya Estrada o Ejercito. Hindi na nalilito na tayo kung anong tunay ng mga pangalan nito Yung tatay maraming asawa So, itong si Mr. Ejercito, naglatag ng universal healthcare. Siya, ginamit niya sa pagtakbo niyang pagkasenador na maganda daw yung universal healthcare. Pero anong nangyari, Mr. JB Ejercito? Bakit hindi mo tinutulan si Recto? Wala ka namang kinikibo na kinuha yung pera that should have been spent to augment the need of our people in pursuing the universal health care. Ito, tingnan mo si Recto. Kinukuha yung pera.
Ayan, ako, sinubi na. Ayan. Recto ordered PhilHealth to transfer 89 billion pesos to National Treasury. It was Finance Secretary Ralph Recto who ordered the Philippine Health Insurance Corporation to remit 89 billion to the Bureau of Treasury in April 2024. On April 24, Recto wrote a letter addressed to PhilHealth President and CEO Emmanuel Ledesma Jr., compelling the transfer of its fund balance to the national government in 15 days upon receipt of his letter. He said, PhilHealth's substantial contribution will support the funding of priority infrastructure and social projects of the national government in ensuring the nation's economic growth and development.
Tingnan mo.
Ang dami nila.
Puro kabulastugan yung pinaggagawa mo. Gagabitin nyo yung pera at ikukurap lamang kasi ang dami-dami nang ang pera dyan sa General Appropriations Act Tapos naglagay pa kayo ng unprogrammed fund na lulustayin lang naman yan ng mga corrupt people dyan. Tapos ngayon, kukunin mo yung pera sa taong bayan, doon mo ilalagay sa unprogrammed fund. Para kamo gagastusin daw sa bayan. Masyadong salungat naman yung idea mo. Tingnan mo si Bongo, anong sinasabi? Diyan, Mr. Recto.
Go questions legality of PhilHealth funds transfer. Senator Bongo said the propriety and legality of the purported transfer of around 90 billion unused Philippine Health Insurance Corporation funds to the National Treasury should be explained to the public. The Department of Finance in April released a circular mandating government-owned and controlled corporations to transfer their excess funds to unprogrammed National Reserve. In other words, at the disposal of the President. The questions of our fellow citizens are simple. Was the DOF and the PhilHealth, was what the DOF and the PhilHealth did right and legal? If so, where will it be used? Said Go, Chairman of the Senate Committee on Health. As a senator, quote, who prioritizes on health of every Filipino, my main concern here is, why does PhilHealth have 90 billion in excess funds but were not used to further expand and strengthen the benefit packages that could help our fellow citizens? He added. Go said it was unacceptable that funds were available but not used to help sick Filipinos. We want to know the executive's explanation as to why PhilHealth has excess funds while many patients still suffering and unable to pay for their hospitalization or treatment. Why wasn't this used to help them? Go said, should the funds be remitted to the National Treasury, it must be ensured that they were used properly. He added that the beneficiaries of the money should still be the poor and the sick. More than 35 medical groups, including the Philippine Medical Association, have called on President Ferdinand Marcos to reallocate to PhilHealth the full amount of the unused funds for the explicit purpose of enhancing healthcare services to the poor. Kung unprogrammed yan, paano i-account yan?
Alam mo, kaya nga kinwestiyon nga ni Amy Marcos yan. Remember, there was a controversy in the General Appropriation Act dahil originally malaki yung GAA, binawasan nila at nilagay sa unprogrammed fund. And sinasabi ni Amy, delikado yan, mukhang may paggagamitan yan para mapunta sa mga bulsa ng mga hayop dyan sa gobyerno, no? So, yun ang sinasabi ni Amy Marcos. Pero, mga kababayan, itong si Recto, hindi pinag-aralan na maliban sa iniisip niya na dalhin sa unprogrammed fund yan, may marami pang kailangan ng PhilHealth. Mr. Recto, I think you are an author also of the universal healthcare. Ang universal healthcare needed so much money when it was established. Kaya nga, during the time, I was member of PhilHealth. I was one of the directors of PhilHealth. Nagkakaroon ng problema in the implementation of the Universal Healthcare Program. Kaya, ang ginawa lang ng DOH at saka PhilHealth, binawasan nila. There was partial implementation only. Because what was envisioned at the time, paring Ado, yung pera na gagamitin sa universal healthcare should come from the sin taxes. But this did not materialize. Kasi yung author na masyadong nagyayabang na siyang gumawa ng hindi naman pinaglaban yung pundo. Pero ginagamit niya sa eleksyon na author daw siya para manalo. Pero yung totoo na implementasyon ng universal healthcare ay talagang hindi. Hindi universal. Ano ba ang opposite ng universal?
Unilateral.
Unilateral, onerous or whatever, partial.
Selective.
Partial or selective healthcare lamang dahil walang pera. So, ito, galing sa taong bayan, ang pera sa kanilang contribution, kukunin ngayon. Bakit naman kukunin mo, Recto? Bakit hindi mo ilagay at madagdagan yung coverage ng universal healthcare? Yun po ang tamang gagawin dyan. So, yun po mga kababayan, ang issue dyan. At ito ay pinaglalaban ni Bongo. Pero sana, maging matapang ang laban ni Bongo. Hindi ka agad susurrender. Dapat magpaimbestiga siya sa Senado. Baka matakot naman na magpaimbestiga. Si Senator Bongo. He is already in the right track, but being the chairman of the Committee on Health, he should come up with an immediate committee hearing on this regard para maagapan. At the same time, sumama din siya doon sa mga tao na nag-file ng kaso sa Korte Suprema questioning yung legality nito because this is not money of the government. This is a private fund contributed by the people, the workers, to the PhilHealth. Now, you cannot blame the people who contributed na hindi nila mabenefit yung pera dahil mga ningkumpot, mga gunggong yung nagpapatakbo siguro dyan. So, for you not to spend this money when there are so much activities, there are so much things to be done, there are so many pautang ang PhilHealth sa mga hospital na hindi pa nababayaran. Maraming nagko-complain ng mga hospitals na hindi nababayaran, tinitipid nyo ang mga PhilHealth members pagka nag-claim sa hospital. Tapos ngayon, kukunin ang pera para ilagay sa kalukuhan na unprogrammed funds. This is
may report na
this is the highest and this is the height of incompetence, of indiscretion, and of walang puso ng mga tao sa gobyerno.
a portion of that fund have already been transferred.
I don't know. I mean, kasi April pa eh.
Verify natin.
Oo. Well, dapat hindi muna pumayag ang
PhilHealth.
Ang PhilHealth officials.
Mga magbayad dyan. Baka ba technical malversation kayo dyan?
Oo.
Makakulong kayo.
So, dapat ang mga taong bayan na nag-contribute dyan should join the Philippine Medical Association in raising these issues with the Supreme Court, such that the Supreme Court can issue an injunction or can issue mandatory processes to return the money back to PhilHealth, and such that PhilHealth should be mandated to expend this money for the Filipino people. Yun po dapat ang ginagawa dyan, mga kababayan.
Paano kung yung mga OFW ayaw na mag-contribute dyan dahil sa kalagayan ninyo?
Dapat yun ang isa sa mga, para makatotohanan sana si Pinocchio sa kanyang Sona, isa sana sa tinatakil niya ito. At binigyan niya ng assurance ang mga PhilHealth contributors na yung pera nila ay intact at hindi gagalawin, kasi these are all for the benefits of the people who contributed funds for their own welfare. Ito po dapat ang ginagawa nitong mangbubudol na Marcos na to. Pero hindi ginawa. Kasi very limited lang yung utak na alam niya, kasi binabasa lang niya sa teleprompter kung anong para siyang ibon na kung ano lang ipipid, yun lang ang inaano.
Bigay sila ng bigay lang ayuda, kaliwat kanan, na sila lang nakakaalam kung saan sila kumuha ng mga listahan. Tapos kayong bumababa pang ayuda nila, kukunin nila sa private corporation. Asan ang logic dyan?
Yun po, bakit kaya nag-aalboroto ang taong bayan? Bakit kaya hindi matiwasay ang bayan natin ngayon? Mayroong nagpuprotesta, mayroong nagsasabing, Marcos, alis ka dyan, Marcos, resign ka, Marcos, pagbutihan mo yung trabaho mo. Why? Kasi, hindi mo ginagawa ang tama. Pangatlong taon mo na. Dapat sana matiwasay yung, tingnan mo yung tatay mo, si McCoy Sr., for the first 3-4 years of his administration, when he declared martial law, napakaganda. Until such time na nagkasakit siya at mayroong isang ahas din sa Malacanang na milyon-milyon ang nilulustay, libo-libong sapatos, pinapasara ang mga matitinding mga tindahan, at nadidiktahan na si Marcos dahil uugod-ugod na. Doon lamang watak-watak ang mga Pilipino. At nag-declare siya ng martial law. Pero for the first mga years, people praise Marcos Sr., mga kababayan. Ikaw, you were
I was part of that.
You were then a matured guy already at that time.
In fact, tinulungan kong ma-re-elect yan noong 1969. Oo. Pero
although nang daya siya, pinasara niya yung bangko kaya hindi naka-withdraw si Osmeña, pero sige, okay pa rin, kasi maganda yung hangarin niya, pero exact opposite itong Pinocchio. The Pinocchio of the modern day government.
Yung tatay kasi, may plano, may roadmaps, may results measurement, may monitoring.
Tsaka matalino.
Ito walang plano
Tsaka hindi daw yun. Hindi pa nga nagsisigarilyo Wala, hindi nagsisigarilyo. Hindi yata umiinom yun
Pakunti wide.
Nakakasama ko yung tatay nito. Madalas doon sa mga reunion namin ng Upsilon Sigma Pi. Doon sa balay or mansion ni Tiling Yulo doon sa Kanluban noon. Kanlubang. At doon namin ang taas ng respeto namin doon sa tatay nitong Pinocchio na ito Pero ngayon binubudol tayo ngayon. Imbis na ipakita, maski wala siyang kakayahan, pero the people will be pleased if you just tell us the truth of your capability. Yun lang naman po, mga kababayan. Okay? So, paring anong last, parting words.
Well, huwag kalimutan mag-subscribe dito sa Paras kay Paras at i-click ang notification bell. At mag-subscribe din po kayo sa YouTube at Ado Paglinawan, Secretary. Magpaalam na tayo.
Magandang hapon po muli sa ating mga aping-aping mga kababayan. Nagiging sobra na ang pagka mahirap ngayon ng ating mga kababayan. Lumalaki na ang agwat ng mahirap at saka yung mga mayaman na nagpapasasa ngayon sa kayamanan ng ating bansa. At ito ay ginagatungan pa ni Marcos at yung kanyang may bahay na yumaman pa ng gusto itong mga cronies na ito. So, sana ipagpala ng Diyos ang ating mga kababayan na naghirap ngayon. At the day will come for reckoning.